Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is a study of the text of A Course in Miracles. My name's Eloisa Ramos, and I'm joined by my daughter, Sonia. Hi, Sonia. And my friend, Connie. Hi, Connie. And we are continuing with Chapter 16, The Forgiveness of Illusions. And we're on the last section, the end of illusions. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. All right. Paragraph 1. Let me just move a couple of things here so I can read. Okay. It is impossible to let the past go without relinquishing the special relationship. For the special relationship is an attempt to reenact the past and change it. Imagined slights, remembered pain, past disappointments, perceived injustices, and deprivations all enter into the special relationship, which becomes a way in which you seek to restore your wounded self-esteem. What basis would you have for choosing a special partner without the past? Every such choice is made because of something quote unquote evil in the past to which you cling and for which must someone else atone. Okay. Okay, so this is putting it very straightforward and very bluntly. Okay, if we want to let go of the past, okay, we need to relinquish the special relationship. And why do we want to let go of the past? Well, because the past is the illusion, it's unreality, and it's holding on to basically pain and suffering, because it explains right here. See in the line 3, we're holding on to imagined slights, remembered pain, past disappointments, perceived injustices, and deprivations. Okay, and we bring all of those into the special relationship because obviously we bring our past with us. Because that's what we hold on to. That's what is unforgiven. That's all the grievances that have not been healed. So, and it's saying that this is the way in which we seek to restore your wounded self-esteem. So, if we think about it, the times that we feel hurt is because our self-image has been attacked, so to speak. Okay. Obviously, an image cannot be attacked, but because we identify with the self-image, we feel like we have been attacked. And so we believe that we can be wounded as an ego image, as an ego self that we made, that is obviously not invulnerable, but vulnerable to attack. And because it entails self-esteem, we've given it value that is not absolute because it changes. So it's this self-image that we've made that has value that is coming from, let's see, basically our own judgment, of our own self-worth, apart from how God created us, because it's a belief in a separated self. And it makes a really good point here in line 4. What basis would you have for choosing a special partner without the past, right? I mean, when you think about it, who do we pick to be friends? Well, it's people we have similar, right? Similar interest, or we have something in common. So it always goes to the past. Oh, that way you have things to talk about, right? Oh yeah, I went to Hawaii. Oh, so did I. Oh, where did you go? Well, I went here. And so then you have these past experiences that you can talk about. Or, okay, well, where are you from? Oh, well, I'm from, originally from here. And so then you start making connections about what is common in your past. And so the special partner is going to be, and I can say that, with my husband, we have a lot in common in the past. Basically, we share a very, and it's not really sharing, but the history, the tradition, the culture, we have a lot in common when it comes to that. Um, and I always thought, well, that makes it a little easier to get along, you know. So I didn't see that as a problem. I thought that was a good thing. So, yeah, but the line 5 says this is where the guilt comes in. So every such choice is made because of something quote unquote evil in the past to which you cling and for which must someone else atone. Um, so this is where we bring in past grievances that we feel still need to be vindicated from, or someone else owes us something, um, or someone took something from us, so we feel lacking or needy, and now we're trying to get that back. So in the special relationship, you might say that we're trying to get back what we think someone else took from us, because we're coming into the relationship believing we're incomplete. Um, and in so doing, we're taking it from the other, and therefore we're perceiving that as, you know, okay, well, now we're even now, you know. So there's a belief in atonement in terms of payback, right? Let's see. If I atone for my sins, the idea in atonement for my sin is that I'm paying back for my sins. At least that's how I learned it, in the Catholic religion. But the way the Course uses atonement, of course, is different. It has nothing to do with debt or paying back, or or inequality. Um, it, so anyway, okay, number 2.
Okay, I'll go. Let's see here. The special relationship takes vengeance on the past. By seeking to remove suffering in the past, it overlooks the present in its preoccupation with the past and its total commitment to it. No special relationship is experienced in the present. Whew. Shades of the past envelop it and make it what it is. It has no meaning in the present, and if it means nothing now, it cannot have any real meaning at all. How can you change the past except in fantasy? And who can give you what you think the past deprived you of? The past is nothing. Do not seek to lay the blame for deprivation on it, for the past is gone. You cannot really not let go what has already gone. It must be, therefore, that you are maintaining the illusion that it has not gone because you think it serves some purpose that you want fulfilled. And it must also be that this purpose could not be fulfilled in the present, but only in the past.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so special relationship takes vengeance on the past. So so there is so the special relationship is not a real relationship. That's what it's clarifying here, because because we're trying to remove suffering in the past, okay? But we're not trying to heal the past because, let's see, because the healing happens when only in the present. And the special relationship, see line 3, is not experienced in the present. So no special relationship is experienced in the present. So it basically serves the purpose of blocking the healing of the past. And so what it does is we bring the past into the present so that we distort the present so that we really are not perceiving the present moment as it is. It's being distorted by our projections that are unhealed. And so, and that's why five, it says it has no meaning in the present. And so and the only meaning that is real is what exists now, what is present now. So of course we can't change the past. How can you change the past except in fantasy? Okay, because the past is gone, it's over and done with. But because we don't have closure on these past memories that we are still sort of what's the word? Chewing on. um, they're 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 it's almost like a broken record that gets stuck in our mind, and that distracts us from being present in just staying present in the moment. And who can give you what you think the past deprived you of? Um, yes. So we can't make up for what we think we we suffered in the past. We can't make that up now. It doesn't work the way that the world the way we structured the world, where, you get into a car accident and in the past, and then someone, has to compensate you through your insurance or through their insurance or whatever for that suffering that happened in the past. You know, so the 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 unforgiveness that we hold in the mind um, is going to stay in the past because it doesn't exist in the present. It's a past memory. Um, and the present memory is only love. So anything that is not love, it's not going to be part of reality that is the present moment. It's always going to be in the past, or it's going to be an imagined, fantasy in the future. Um, yeah, the past is gone. So 10 makes a really good point. You cannot really not let go of what has already gone. So what we're holding on to is an illusion. Okay. And can we really hold on to it? Well, the healing of it is not letting go of something. It's letting go of nothing because it's an illusion. So the recognition, when the healing happens, Holy Spirit shines the light of truth and the mind becomes aware that there was an error in the thinking of how we misperceive the situation. And that correction is an undoing that then vanishes the error. So there's nothing there, which is what's true. There's nothing there in the past. There's nothing. It's gone. Okay. Um, so it must be therefore that you're maintaining the illusion okay, that it has not gone, okay, because you think it serves some purpose that you want fulfilled. Okay, so why would we hold on to grievances then? Okay, they're over and done with. Okay, and so here it's saying that there's a benefit, there's some purpose, it's serving some purpose that we still desire, we want fulfilled. Okay, and a lot of the time, it's because we want to feel justified in attacking others. And holding on to the grievance is the evidence that we use to say, hey, I was the victim, you were the victimizer, and I am now justified in attacking you. So usually that's why we hold on to these things, because we think that victims are justified in attack because they were attacked first. Um, and it must also be that this purpose could not be fulfilled in the present. Yeah, but only in the past. Yeah. So in the present moment is an awareness of oneness. So there can be no attack in the present moment because there's no sense of separation. And you need to have a sense of separation to believe that you can attack or that someone can attack you. Um, so that the purpose of holding on to grievances is nothing in the present. It only has meaning in the past because we believe and we want to believe that the mind can attack, and it cannot. That's the illusion. Okay. Any questions before we continue? No. Okay. All right. Number 3, Sonia.
Do not underestimate the intensity of the ego's drive for vengeance on the past. It is completely savage and completely insane. For the ego remembers everything you have done that has offended it and seeks retribution of you. The fantasies it brings to its chosen relationships in which to act out its hate are fantasies of your destruction. For the ego holds the past against you, and in your escape from the past, it sees itself deprived of the vengeance it believes you so justly merit. Yet, without your alliance in your own destruction, the ego could not hold you to the past. In the special relationship, you are allowing your destruction to be. That this is insane is obvious. But what is less obvious is that the present is useless to you while you pursue the ego's goal as its ally.
Mhm. Anything, Sonia?
Yeah, questions, but I can let you explain it. You might answer them.
Um, okay. So the ego is a belief in separation and a belief that demands attack in order to survive. um, uh, so it has a drive for vengeance because it perceives itself as vulnerable. So, it needs to exert dominance and it needs to strive to, let's see, get the upper hand. Okay. Um, it is completely savage and completely insane. So to identify with the ego or to perceive it as an ally is to buy into the thoughts of separation that say, you better attack first before someone else attacks you because it's a dog eat dog world. It's a competitive world and you're not going to make it if you're not aggressive and if you're not whatever, you got to do what you got to do to climb up the ladder or to whatever. It's basically a kill or be killed scenario because it's all about scarcity from the ego's point of view. So, and so the when we hold grievances, okay, it's not our true self that's holding grievances. It's the ego that we made. For line 3, for the ego remembers everything you have done that has offended it and seeks retribution of you. Okay. Okay. So the ego is a part of our mind that's going to relish and cherish um, and keep track of what other people do to us that offends us. Okay, because that's a call for retribution. That's a call for vengeance. That's a lowering of our self-esteem as an ego. Okay, and but it says that it seeks retribution on you, and the reason why that is because there is nobody else. Okay, we think that there's someone else that is doing something to us, but there isn't. That's our own projection of a separated belief of an ego that we have made for somebody else that we perceive as attacking us, as an ego that we made for ourselves. They're just images that we've made of others and of ourselves. And so now anything that we do to another, we're actually doing it to ourselves. Okay, because there's nobody else. There's nobody else. There's just one self. But to the ego, there's many, many individual selves, and they attack each other. Okay, so by pushing that scenario and by us buying into that, when we attack, we're actually just attacking ourself, our one self. Okay, and therefore, to the ego, it's actually seeking retribution of us. Okay, the fantasies it brings to its chosen relationships in which to act out its hate are fantasies of your destruction. Okay, um, um, yes, because remember that giving is receiving. So anything that we do to our partner that's hateful is really just a projection of of our own hate that we have for ourselves, because it's the same self. Um, so um, um, and there's going to be underlying all of those attacks, there's going to be guilt, and guilt is really intolerable and it demands punishment. So we end up punishing ourselves when we attack others, because the projection is also a repression, and we end up holding to the guilt, which then demands punishment. And we do it in very subtle ways. I smushed my thumb the other day in the car, and it was the weirdest thing. I did it with one hand. I managed to get my thumb. I was closing the door behind me, and I managed to get my thumb stuck in the same door that I closed the door with. I did it with the same hand. Oh my gosh. And and, and so, but if we trace back, our thoughts, well, what was I thinking right before that? We're going to find guilt under there. Um, or I remember, I had that one thought when I was watering the roses in the backyard, and I thought, oh, the grandkids are little. What if they did go on the ledge and start playing around and get into the rose bush and get hurt? And lo and behold, as soon as I had that thought, I turned around to water the orange tree next to it, and I ran right into the I ran right into the the limb of the orange tree. So I can pretty much whenever I have a little accent like that, all I have to do is trace back what I was thinking, and I can see that it was an attack thought. Um, so I'm doing it to myself. I'm like, having the attack thought and then the guilt and then the punishment is right there. So, yeah. So 7, in the special relationship, you are allowing your destruction to be. Um, because remember that the ego as a belief in separation is really a death wish. Because, because as God created us, we are eternal beings of love. And so there is no death. Okay. But as a belief in separation, then we are a body that can die and can be hurt, obviously, and can be attacked. So it's a death wish from that point of view, because we're embracing the belief of being something that's destructible, as a body. Um, and it's insane, because the truth is we are not destructible. That's the illusion. We are still as God created us. We are eternal and spirit, and the body is a projection of the ego thought system as a perception of separation, the symbol for the ego. Um, and the whole thing is an illusion. Um, but when we are unaware of that, we buy into the identification and we play out the scenario of destruction and punishment and attack. Yeah. And what is less obvious is that the present is useless to you while you pursue the ego's goal as its ally. So as long as we're not in the present moment, we're entertaining and we are pursuing as an ally of the ego thoughts of the past that are illusions. But nevertheless, let's see, become the dream of the sleeping mind. Um, that experiences the pain and the suffering and the dying as a body identity. Um, okay. Okay. Any questions, Sonia? Did you have any?
Since you explained it really well about like the hate, like the vengeance aspect. It's just it'll probably I think I kind of see it in paragraph 5, but because it's a little harder to see when it's quote unquote positive, like relationships, like when it's harder to see that dynamic, that it's that a special relationship, like whether it's a friendship, whatever.
You mean it's harder to see that it's a special relationship when it's positive, when you're having
No,
fun or
it's harder.
something?
It's no, well, it's harder to see the vengeance aspect to that when you are in a special like relationship. Like, I guess you could take a friendship, for example, if you're making friends and everything seems to be going like really well or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
but it doesn't last.
right.
It's not going to stay there like that. Uh,
Mhm.
um, yeah, and so when it changes, then you're going to be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is a conversation for another time because I have like a lot of examples recently. Yeah.
Well,
Like I
just give
guess
us
more
one. Just give us
questions.
one.
Um, well, I guess my question would be, so recently, I've been going out with coworkers like every week, for something that's called trivia night, and it's really fun. Like I just enjoy like being with them, but I think, it's interesting because like I can tell like I love all of them, like I do, and I'm actually gonna hang out with some of them like later, but I can tell they want to form like special friendships like with me, and that's okay because I really like I enjoy being with them, but I'm trying to see like where like if being friends with someone Like that's automatically a special relationship. Like where is the vengeance part in that if I were
Well, it's
to,
not automatically a special relationship. Okay, it's when we
oh, it
bring the
isn't?
fantasies, it's when we bring the past into the relationship. So if you're able to stay in the relationship and you're able to stay in the present moment, okay, then you're not bringing in the past and you're not making an ego out of them and an ego out of yourself.
Guess that is my question. So if people, because ultimately, obviously, people are gonna react. They're gonna have their own projections about you, like, and assumptions about you. They can see you as a special friend or whatever. I mean,
Right.
that's their own right. So there
So,
is a way to be not to be friends with someone, but not
well,
like
yeah, yeah. Well, the
how is
course,
that?
yeah, what the course says is you join with them, but not with the dream. Okay. So you can see, okay, that okay, maybe they want a special, they're trying to form a special relationship. So you forgive that. You just forgive it. Okay. You don't buy into it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Buying into it doesn't mean that you're not friends with them or like hanging out with them, right?
no,
Like I think that's where
you
I'm
can still
oh,
have
okay.
friends and hang out with them. But what
Mhm.
it means is that you're not going to use them to meet your own perceived sense of deprivation or lack. Because if
Okay.
you're aware, right, if you're not bringing your own past grievances into the relationship
Yeah.
and you're not using them, like a lot of times we want to make a friend so we can just sit there and complain to each other or, criticize other people that we don't like. We come together in the dream because we both hate so and so. You know what I'm saying? So then you just talk about them behind their back or something like that. So so if you are aware that you're not buying into, or if they go into, because I can say, that when I first got married, it was definitely a special relationship. And we would sit there and we would talk about after a social gathering, we would sit there and talk about people and, oh, did you see da 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 da? And we would do the whole thing. And then after a while, I just said, you know what? I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that anymore. So the relationship has changed because I no longer want to participate in um, in the uh, in the attack in the attack thoughts, um, and we don't have to because we can just see that it's coming and forgive it and not say anything. We don't have to um, what's the word join in the dream of attack, of illusion, of the past. Do you see what I'm saying? The complaining. We don't have to like, someone starts complaining about politics. We don't have to like join in and start complaining about politics or vice versa, whatever it is. Um, and we can still love everyone, but we can recognize that it's all just, it's all just nothing. It's drama. And there's a reason why we hold on to it. And if we're tired of it, we just don't have to go there. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Plus, I think I'll talk to you later, but that answered some of my questions. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Number 4. I forgot who read last. So it's
I
probably my
think
turn. Is it right,
I
Connie, or
think
is it
I
your
read.
turn?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's your turn. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The past is gone. Seek not to preserve it in the special relationship that binds you to it and would teach you salvation is past, and so you must return to the past to find salvation. There is no fantasy that does not contain the dream of retribution for the past. Would you act out the dream? or let it go. Okay, so that's a little bit what we were talking about, right? We don't want to join in this dream of retribution that a lot of people carry with them and use the special relationship to find support, or to find attack, because either way, it's a way to keep that quote unquote dream alive. Whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, we're making the dream real by engaging in um, let's see, by giving it attention, basically. Um, and so uh, and so we're just holding on to it rather than forgiving it and moving on. And a lot of the tapping that I do with a EFT is really just working with past memories to shift the perception so that the meaning that and the emotions that get associated with those memories are undone, and then there's nothing there, because it was made up to begin with. Okay. All right. Okay, number 5.
In the special relationship, it does not seem to be an acting out of vengeance that you seek. And even when the hatred and the savagery break briefly through, the illusion of love is not profoundly shaken. Yet the one thing the ego never allows to reach awareness is that the special relationship is the acting out of vengeance on yourself. Yet what else could it be? In seeking the special relationship, you look not for glory in yourself. You have denied that it is there, and the relationship becomes your substitute for it. And vengeance becomes your substitute for atonement, and the escape from vengeance becomes your loss.
Okay, so I think that from my experience, what the special relationship does is it keeps us really identified with the body. So because it's so focused on the happenings, what the body is doing, what I'm doing, what you're doing. Am I feeling supported? Am I, let's see, are you making me happy? Am I making you happy? It's, is this, are my expectations being met? The special relationship has a way of really, uh, what's the word? Keeping the mind very, very tunnel vision and focused on our day-to-day survival things, like, okay, do I have groceries? What do I need? What's missing from the refrigerator? And, and uh, when I was looking for a relationship, I really wanted to get married and have kids. And I think that I couldn't tell you why, okay, because it was all just unconscious. It was all just tradition, culture, legacy. It was all just total indoctrination. Um, so, um, so the special relationship is just uh, kind of a way to keep the mind from recognizing that it's not a body, that it's not an ego, um, because it keeps it, let's see, focused on things that we think are a matter of life or death, and that we're somehow in charge of that. That, oh my God, if I don't water the plants in the garden, they're going to die. if I don't, if I don't make sure I have, whatever food on the table, my relationship is going to, I'm going to lose, favor. Or, I mean, whatever it is that we take on to be a role, we play a lot of roles in these special relationships. And those roles keep our identity really stuck, in being a parent, being a wife, being a mother, being a grandmother, being whatever our job is. Maybe being a teacher, being being a good provider, being a moneymaker, whatever it is, it keeps us really stuck paying the mortgage, making sure that let's see, that we're not that we're maintaining the health of the body, that we exercise, that we take our vitamins. I mean, the whole thing is just this what's the word? It's just a way of it's so complex that it keeps the mind really bogged down, and um, without any time to really just sit back and be present, to even think about who am I really, you know? So yeah, so in the special, it does not seem to be an acting out of vengeance that you seek. Is that where we were? Or was it 6? It's number 5, yeah. Yeah, it's the acting out of vengeance on yourself, because what it is that it keeps us little. It's a littleness. So it's and it's got a lot of elements of sacrifice and crucifixion in there. If we are coming from that sort of religious background, it's got a lot of that. So there's a lot of it's a lot of it's not questioning the suffering that goes on in there. Um, let's see. Yeah. You look not for glory in yourself. That's what I meant by the littleness. You have denied that it's there, and the relationship becomes your substitute for it. So yeah, we forget about our true creation, and that we're not a body, that we're not here to procreate and populate the world, So, um, okay, number 6.
I don't remember whose turn it is, but I have to go, so I'll
Oh, you
see you
gotta
guys.
go. Okay.
Oh, it was your turn.
Oh,
She's going to work.
See
I
you.
gotta go to work.
Okay. All right. I need to stop at 9 myself. So should we just continue with this,
Let's
Eloisa?
see. Let's see how many more.
I mean,
Yes,
it's a
let's do
long
that because there's
section.
12. So this is a good
Oh,
place to stop right here.
oh,
Uh,
perfect.
Paragraph
Yeah,
6. And we'll
very
pick up
good.
next time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank
And
you.
until next time.
Yeah, good section.
Yeah.